We're back again, Diane. Knowledge nugget number 3, with a real view of turning conversations around brand into action. It's sometimes good to understand the concepts, but it really falls short unless you start putting those concepts into application on a daily basis. Then, Diane, it comes down to then how do we get there? And you and I think, are cut from the same cloth. Ask me a good question that maybe I haven't thought about before, that gets me closer to the view of how should I think about myself differently. If I come back and say, Diane, tell me your value, that's a really hard question.
Right.
Diane, tell me what you solve for an organization. That's a really tough question to get to. So it's almost expanding the thinking around some experiences that you had, pull those out, and then capture those in a spreadsheet or a worksheet that you can start going back to later and pull some keywords out. That helps you get closer to that view of the value I create.
Right.
I know I asked you a question a long time ago, and I just want to get your sense of, did this help you, did it not help you, and how did it help you think about yourself differently? Things about like what thread ties all of your work experiences together, not just why you're at the current job, but as you think about all the experiences that you had, what business challenge attracted you? What was the overall residing issue in that company that pulled you forward to say, I want to help this company solve this problem? The aspect of a purpose in your life, of where you work in an industry, because this is very meaningful to you. So that question of what thread ties all of your work experiences together, what did that mean to you, and how did it help you get closer to your thinking around value?
Well, I think with you, Marty, what helped me the most is you almost created a worksheet for me. You almost helped me with how do I chunk this up versus trying to answer, what's your personal mission, your personal vision, or almost like you do when you brand a product, right? You don't do it with one question and then all of a sudden you have to do a bunch of research and kind of brainstorm. So I think for me, what helped me when you said that was in the pharmaceutical industry, it was all about patients for me.
Yeah.
So that is the thing that gets me up in the morning. It's the beginning, middle, and end of every strategy. It's what we have in common with all of the stakeholders. It's the thing that tugs at your heart that you can help a patient, that could possibly be on your medication or your treatment or your device or what have you. So that is the common thread for my entire career. But the other piece of that you also mentioned is, what's my differentiator? What are the values I live by? What's my best day at work? So having the opportunity to go through those things in pieces and ask those questions would be a great exercise.
Excellent. So what we've done to help everybody out is put a worksheet together with those questions that we will be putting up onto the Syncronate website under the Accelerate tab. It's a spreadsheet that just does exactly as Diane mentioned. We ask a series of questions. If you can just hang with those questions, answer them, and then pull the keyword out, and then take an inventory of all those words and really start looking at the overall common themes that emerge from the words that you use to define yourself. And that would be a great something to do between now and our next session.
Absolutely.
Great.
Yeah. And we'll do it exactly as you did with me when we had this conversation earlier of putting it into different kinds of questions, get the answers, try to come up with the highlights, another question, get the answers, and then we'll bring all that together.
I love it, but hard to do on your own,
yes,
right?
Very
so
much.
How can a coach that we are working with or you're working with use that insight that you're capturing on yourself to help you get, again, closer to the ultimate goal of defining your brand?
Well, I think that we've done a lot of other exercises, right? We've done self-assessments. Some people have a 360. They have their insights report. They have all of the things that they've tried for the last few months of coaching. And I think it would be incredibly helpful for the coaches to have that past experience and kind of have a new view of them, than perhaps they have of themselves, and have all that feedback along with what they really believe are the things that are their values, their mission, what differentiates them, and then come together in a great series of conversations to come up with that personal and leadership brand.
Excellent. And then you and I will develop the end goal of what finish looks like.
Yeah.
So you have your input that each individual will be developing. You get the interactive element of working with a coach, and then at the end, we actually have something that you can work with and becomes your overall brand plan that you can carry forward with. I think it's a great concept that you and I just crushed. All right. So we covered a lot. Those questions, again, not on the direct line path, the path of what is your brand, what's your differentiation, and tell me what you solve for an organization. Hard questions like, what business blog would you write for the next 12 months? And 12 months is important because the topic is important to you, compelling to others, and has to have enough weight to carry over 12 months. What thread ties your work experiences together? What would this organization be without you? These are the tough questions that we ask that show up in our workbooks. So work through it, write down your answers, get back at it a couple different times, and when you're done, share your insights with your coach. Because between that conversation of working on your own, conversation with your coach, and then doing the practice outside of that environment will really help you drive your brand forward. So get into the workbook. It's on Synchronate.com under the Accelerate tab. Download it and start working through it. Until next time, thank you. Thanks again, Diane.
Thanks, Marty.